So welcome back to Movement Monday. Today we are talking about cleaning before the cleaning lady comes. And yes, you're a trainer, you're not a cleaner, so what the heck are you actually talking about? I'm talking about how there's this conception, immaculate conception, that people have to improve movement before they start training. And here at Results Driven, we do both at the same time. Hey guys, welcome back to Movement Monday. Before, I talked about cleaning before the cleaning lady comes, and I'm a trainer, not a scientist. What is he talking about? I'm talking about improving movement before you start training.
So the functional movement screen, or FMS, gives us an entry point for each pattern. It really is like saying which door can we use to enter the building being your fitness. So, certain ones are locked or maybe painful, other ones maybe have an easier entry point. So in order to reach the same goal, what is the best way for us to start and the best path for us to go down?
So there's 7 different assessments that are part of the functional movement screen. We have the deep squat, we have the hurdle step, inline lunge, shoulder mobility screen, a active straight leg raise screen, a trunk stability screen, and a rotary stability screen. And through that, we're able to find which door is the appropriate door to go in to make you fit.
So the rock stars at FMS have a hierarchy in which they correct these patterns or address these patterns. So first we start off with your mobility screens, the active straight leg raise and shoulder mobility. Once those are clear, meaning they're symmetrical and good enough in terms of the movement, we move on to your stability-based screens, the rotary stability and trunk stability push-up. And once all those foundational patterns are clear, what we do is we roll into the functional patterns, your hurdle step, your inline lunge, and your deep squat. If we address things in this order, your base is going to be a lot more solid and things are going to be more sustainable.
So we want to tell you how the coaches here at Results Driven would address a new client coming in to give you an idea of how we operate here. So, like Ed said, the first place we start is with our mobility screens, our active straight leg raise and our shoulder mobility. So the active straight leg raise screen looks like this. And as trainers, that's like the fundamental one that we're always addressing with a lot of new people. So how do we look at it? We want to look at what we can address now, what we need to work on, and what we need to avoid.
In this specific situation, we want to avoid loading a movement like the deadlift. It's just not worth the risk given the current movement profile. We'd want to work on some things like hip mobility and or hip stability with movements like the Spider-Man stretch and a half kneel chop. And we'd want to make sure we have something to train. So we can take advantage of things like the sled push, which trains the top end of the pattern, and movements like half kneel battle ropes to just build work capacity in a kneeling position.
We're going to take the same approach when we're addressing shoulder mobility. So the things we would want to avoid is anything dynamic with the upper body. That would be rowing or push-ups, any kind of chest passing. The things we would want to work on would be creating shoulder mobility and shoulder stability. So we could do that through breathing or something like a tall kneel plank. And then to get fitness, we would do something like a squat, deadlift, or sled push.
Both of these examples address specific areas that don't move that well or don't really have enough mobility. What if you haven't addressed fitness in a long time? What if there's certain things holding you back? All we're doing, like we mentioned earlier, is looking for an entry point. So can you carry a weight pain-free? Can you kneel and take advantage of throwing a medicine ball or using the battle ropes? Can you do more traditional things like get on an exercise bike in between your sets of working on hip mobility and some stability stuff? The bottom line is there's always an entry point. So if you use the screen and you respect the principles, you can find the right things to address fitness as you take that a little more slow and steady path towards improving mobility and movement.
So the point is that you don't have to separate improving movement and exercise. With the proper tools, they can be one and the same, and you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, we're not advocating violence towards poultry, but when it comes to when
you fuck up when you say dumb.
But when it comes to...
You gotta give me a second on my stone.
But when it comes to improving your life through exercise, why not do both at the same time? So hopefully you take a little bit from this video and apply it to your own training, or you come into Results Driven, get a movement screen, and see how we can apply it to you in your situation.
Hold up, friends, before you go all Mythbusters on us and say, oh, I clean before my cleaning lady comes. Let's be real. You don't clean, you organize. You organize so that the cleaning can actually be done more efficiently. That's all the FMS is. All we're doing is organizing movement. We're deciding what things need to be worked on, what things need to be avoided, and where we can train hard.
If you like this, make sure you visit resultsdrivenfs.com to see all the cool information we're putting out, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to stay a part of the results-driven fitness universe. Until next time, rock on, team. Welcome back, guys, to Movement Monday, your source for information on improving.
It begins.
And then to get you fitness without moving, And then to get you fitness, we could do something like a squat, we could do a deadlift or a kettlebell swing to help. And then to get somebody whose shoulders, a kettlebell swing or a deadlift, even a and then to address fitness, we would do something like a squat, a deadlift, or a sled push. So the point here is that
I was about to say something.
To sneeze.
So really, in simple terms, it's garbage words. The thought process we go through when we're trying to plot a new member into, I can throw some lime on that shit. So we're always. I got it though. So, can you kneel without pain? If you can, we can throw a medicine ball. We can use some battle ropes. Can you carry a weight? Farmer's carries are a weight. Weight? I don't think I've ever said that.
Step. We have a shoulder mobility screen and a active straight leg raise screen, a trunk stability assessment, and a reciprocal move. Oh, fucking A.
Dude.
So we want to show you some practical examples of how we would address a new client coming into Results Driven to help you understand, no, too many words. So the overall point here is that you don't have to separate exercise and creating